Hello, everyone. On today's IRS tax update, as we are just 4 weeks away from the start of the new tax season, we are going to check in on the latest developments with those ongoing tax delays, including the latest information just released from the IRS on the remaining tax return backlog. We will also recap those top refund delays, including notices being sent out by the IRS. And from there, we will answer some of the frequently asked questions by viewers about their ongoing tax processing and refund delays. Starting off with the latest update from the IRS, as we have seen a significant drop to the remaining tax return backlog, with now 686,000 unprocessed tax returns remaining. Since our last update, unprocessed e-file returns, and those requiring special processing, have dropped by 100,000 to 600,000 remaining, while unprocessed paper returns are now down to 86,000 remaining. For those of you waiting on amended returns, we did see a huge increase from our last update to now 844,000 remaining, which is up by 164,000 in the last week. However, at this point, we do believe this number may be an error, as it is highly unlikely we would see such a significant increase at this point in the year. But also there is a possibility, as we have shown in the past, that the IRS had been underreporting certain numbers, and this new number reflects the unprocessed amended returns still remaining. The IRS is also indicating they are currently working on amended returns received in the month of June at this time. Now, as we end the year, there are still a significantly high number of unprocessed tax returns and refunds the IRS still needs to sort through. Recapping some of the top refund delays that are still impacting many of our viewers, starting out with the tax return is under examination or audit. This oftentimes has to do with the credit being claimed by the taxpayer, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit, in which the IRS is thoroughly examining the taxpayer's eligibility for the credit in question. If you're impacted by this situation, you are going to see a 570 code on your tax transcript, as well as the possibility of codes 420 or 424. If you have received a 60-day notice from the IRS, then your refund is most likely delayed due to the fact the IRS still needs to process your employer's wage information. Now, this is necessary because the IRS must match the wages you entered on your tax return and compare it to what your employer has reported for accuracy. To see if you are impacted by this, make sure to log into your online IRS account and check your wages and income transcript. And if nothing appears, then log into your Social Security account and confirm all wages are showing. Now, if nothing appears on either account, then there could be a problem that may cause additional delays, as there are instances where an employer may have reported your wages under the wrong Social Security number or did not file their taxes. ID verification still continues to be the cause of refund delays for some taxpayers, as a number of those impacted are not even aware this is the issue behind their delay. In the last 2 years, we have seen thousands impacted by this who never received notices from the IRS in the mail, such as the 5071C letter notifying them that ID verification is needed so that processing can continue on their tax return. The only way to confirm this is the cause of your specific delay is by reaching out to the IRS by phone or through the taxpayer advocate. If you filed a paper tax return, you can expect some of the longest wait times, as the IRS must manually enter your tax return line by line into the computer system. Oftentimes, there is nothing to do to speed up the processing of your tax return in this particular situation. However, the IRS is taking steps for next tax season to automate the process, which should substantially speed up paper return processing times. Now, taking a look at some of those viewer questions we have been receiving, starting off with what happens if tax processor TPG sends your refund back to the IRS. If this happens, you will fall into one of two categories. If TPG sends your refund back and it is not flagged, then expect to receive a paper check within 4 to 6 weeks. However, if TPG sends it back as flagged, the IRS will need to examine the tax return further, and you could expect to see delays of over 4 months as a result. To confirm if your refund was sent back as flagged, contact either TPG or the IRS. If you're expecting a large tax refund and it gets returned, then there is a likely chance it was flagged. For those of you who never received your refund, even though the IRS sent it, there is a chance it was sent to a wrong bank account. If this happens, the bank will send it back to the IRS, who in turn will issue out a paper check, usually within 4 to 6 weeks. However, if you have a non-traditional bank such as Green Dot or Chime, this does not necessarily apply to you because those banks also have been sending back certain tax refunds to the IRS as flagged. This applies to those with accounts at traditional banks. There are also questions still coming in about amended return processing times, and the IRS is still averaging 6 to 7 months, perhaps longer, depending on if the IRS needs documentation to continue processing. We have had viewers who previously waited over 14 months for processing to be completed on theirs. In this situation, there is no way to request the IRS expedite the processing of your return. The IRS is indicating that they are processing amended returns received in June of 2023 at this time. However, there are still older amended returns in the system. Another reminder for those of you who used platforms like Venmo, PayPal, eBay, or Cash App throughout the year and received more than $600 for the sales of goods and services. There was a late change by the IRS, and you will not be taxed on that income when you submit your tax returns as originally planned. There were potential concerns with implementing this new tax rule for those of you who received the 1099-K form from these online platforms. And we, like many others, believed it was going to cause significant problems during the upcoming tax season. So again, this change will avoid possible significant problems next year. Let us know in the comments section below about your ongoing tax issue. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.